So now would you look at this? Obviously I need to get headlining, but the tailgate is now on with the glass. Both rear windows sealed in. Takes its time, but mechanisms in, all working. So now what I'm doing is, now I've got the glass in, is I'm taking off the Hawaii striping. This is not a Cinquecento Hawaii, it's a Cinquecento Sporting. Someone's tried to make it like the one out of the In-Betweeners, but I'm putting it back to a Sporting spec. I've got some nice Abarth optional extras I'm going to put on it as well. I'm going to make it the best I really can. So I've got my subframe off then, and yeah, this is the state of it. I don't think I can put it back together. So this is what I managed to come up with. Goes in there nicely. Still a bit more cleaning up to do, but I have got back to solid metal, so it shouldn't be an issue there. But yeah, that'll go in, and I'll drill a few holes and actually spot weld it to the actual frame as well. Right then, so I've got this trim to size to go in. There's a bit more needs to be done. There's a piece that goes in here over this. Now this is quite pitted here, however there's a manufactured join there, and this is double layered, and there is another section behind that. There's two that go in opposite directions. So as far as I'm concerned, cutting that out, welding it, isn't going to make any difference. I'm going to file it down, rust prohibiting primer, weld through primer, and just leave it. You know, this car I want to make good, put it back on the road and safe, but I'm not going to go really further than that into making it. You know, I don't want to remanufacture the whole thing. So that's where my stopping point is with it. So yeah, I'm going to get on, and got this bit here cut to size, go in just there. A lot of work to make it go in and be perfect. So far I've been going at it, I've been using the welder, and I've just tacked it in a few places, actually started to weld along there. I'll just show, weld is coming through both sides. Thing I could have done was actually prepped it a bit better, got more raw material around. Weld's coming in though through both sides, so bonding it, strong metal. Well, metal's both sort of melting it to make it one piece, and should be as strong as it was before. Good morning everyone. So you joined me here with the car. Initially I thought this sill was really good, although, well, apart from this bit here, I always knew was a area that was obviously like that when I got it. But I actually went and started jabbing because it felt, I mean, if you can see this, I can literally flex the saw with my hand. There you go. And no holes initially, but then I went and started jabbing. So if you ever look at buying a car and the sills are exposed, just actually give them a feel. Don't just go like that, because it sounds solid enough, but it really isn't. So what I'm actually going to do is cut here, cut this bit out here, and then cut along here, and see how much sill section I need to use of what I've bought. My plan is to grind it back about here and do my weld along there once I've used the joggler tool, which is a stepper that puts a step in it. So I think that's where I'm gonna aim to be, just under that mark there, around here. So I've cut inner sill, looks absolutely spotless apart from the back end, but mostly it's all right. I've got to do a bit there, but this is what I cut out. As you can see, it didn't look too bad until I'd actually sort of detected it. I initially felt it was sort of really soft, and then got a hammer, hit it, and it sort of fell apart, but rusting from the inside out. Now what I'm going to do is, I've got this here, which is the replacement sill. I'm not going to be using the step or the lower rear quarter panel. I'm going to be cutting it. I'm going to, at this corner, as you saw in the car, it's quite rusty, so I'm going to actually cut about there, then along here, take the footplate off, and the lower front wing, well, the lower front door pillar, that's going to come off as well. So now then, I've got the sill, which I've cut. My method of cutting it to fit well was getting one of these and going like that. I measured it so it's half the distance of the masking tape, because what I'm going to do is, when the panel's cut, is I'm going to use this tool here. It's a stepper tool known as a joggler, so it'll put a step in the panel, so that panel there will be straight still. This one, well, it'll all be the one panel, but it'll put a step in, so the new panel will sit there flush against. You'll be able to see more when it's on, but that's what I'll do, is I'll joggle along the whole thing. There was a temptation, and if I didn't really, you know, this is a car that I want to last for many years, so I want to do it the best I can to prevent any sort of water sitting and causing it to sort of happen again. But if this was just sort of a utility vehicle or something that didn't matter, I would just go like this and actually whack it on and weld it on, because it sits fairly well, but that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it to the best sort of level I can. I've got the welder there, the sill I've cut to fit, put holes in it for the spot welds, and using the tool I got, the stepper, made it sort of sit flush. So as you can see here, I've just literally done my 2 spot welds. These will be ground back, and I'll push in and do a weld along there, but that's going to be quite time consuming to avoid warping the panel. But in the meantime, I thought I'd put the bumper on, and there we go, it's looking like a car again. Right then, so just finishing off the sill job, welded all the way along there. It might not look too neat because I've had to do small sections, because with metal that's 1.5 millimeter thick, you have to really make sure you're not doing more than that much at a time, else warping the metal is inevitable. I think there is one bit out there where it did get too hot, warped, but hopefully once I've grinded it back, painted it up, won't be too noticeable. This is rock chip paint, which is thicker, so should be able to disguise that. But the weld's good. It's come through to the other side, which is what you want. So I've arrived here in Wales, and this is a windscreen I'm taking out. All these other Fiats here in this field, including this lovely one here. But yeah, this is the windscreen. What I've done is set about cutting it, just sort of seeing where the seal is to then get it out. So when buying second-hand car parts, it's always important, look and know what you're getting. It's a big piss take. Honestly, the daily documentary does capture the ins and outs of everything. There's no faking it. I've been stung a bit here. So the guy had actually told me the windscreen was all perfect, everything like that. They had a sun strip on it. I didn't take my time well enough there and then to really go over it. But whilst in the car, it would have been ridiculously hard to see. Got a chip. I think it doesn't come into zone A. I think it is just about in zone D. I'm going to measure it, but I think it is 10mm and not directly in the driver's eye line, so I'm hoping I'll be all right. But what I'll probably do is refit another sun strip to the point the wipers don't clear and actually leave it. Big shame, but that's what happens. So firstly, before anything else, mask off down here and cut around with a scalpel. I'm going to try and get that bit of red paint off there just before I start sanding. Keeps the glass nice and intact. So what I've done is masked it off just briefly whilst I sand it down, and I'll mask off this and get painting. So what I'm doing now is using a microfiber cloth, tiny bit of white spirit, going over it, cleaning it up. This is pretty much a degreaser. You can buy better stuff. Halfords have prep wipes, which I do recommend. I've used them, but I'm sort of doing this on the budget for this car, so white spirit will do the same thing and work. So then I've received these for the yellow car, some final finishing pieces. I got given these bumpers, wings and the bonnet for free. I had to pay for a courier. They came from Corby, which is quite far up country. I didn't fancy driving to get them. The courier wasn't too bad cost-wise. But yeah, they arrived. Really happy with them. I'm going to put these two on the car to keep them safe because they're plastic. They're safer on the car than they are anywhere else. So I've got a much better subframe installed now. Much better than the previous. Does need a little bit of a clean up, but that's something I'll do where and when I get the time. I'm going to have new handbrake cables on as well to replace that one there. But all in all,